session. We're here at City Hall on the first floor of our City Council chambers. And at this time, I want to go over our speaker appearances. But before I do, I just want to remind folks watching on Facebook, you should have the live feed coming from Facebook, but there should also be a link there you can click on, which is a secondary live feed. And basically, that second link is just going to give you another experience, if you will, or another viewing experience as you're watching it. So please feel free to comment if you like, but just wanted to make you aware of that. So at this time, we will go through our speaker appearances, and we have Harrison Edwards. Mr. Harrison, come on up, sir. And Harrison, if you can state your name for the record, my friend, we can go ahead and get started. And if you're not aware, you'll have 3 minutes, and I will try to do something to clue you in when you're at about 1 minute. So, so just look out for that. But other than that, my friend, the floor is yours.
Thank you. My name is Harrison Edwards. I'm a resident of Camilla. I live over on Buller Street. I'm here to talk to you tonight about this Camilla Youth Council. Friday, when I got the packet, I just happened to notice some wording under the membership qualifications and terms that says youth council members should be high school age students that currently reside and attend school, to include private and charter schools in the city of Camilla. I feel that wording is a little too specific for those of us that may want to serve that don't go to school necessarily in the city, but we live in the city. Like me, for instance, I go to Baington. I have since I've been in pre-K. I thought this is an opportunity, to serve like I've been trying to do. So I just want to bring that to y'all's attention before it was voted on, just in case you wanted to go over everything that may not have been seen.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody got any questions for Mr. Harrison? All right, thank you. All right, next up we have Ms. Julie Tucker. Yes, ma'am, and just again, Ms. Tucker, just state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Okay. I'm Julie Tucker, and I'm a property taxpayer in Camilla at 178 Court Drive. And for the record, I am not related to Laura Beth Tucker. At last month's meeting, it was said by the mayor that had already drawn down $1.5 million from the MEAG trust fund without waiting for the grant approval from the GFA. I heard the mayor push his agenda to put out bids for the holding ponds also without waiting for the grant approval, which would have caused the city to lose out on a large sum of grant money. I hear that we did receive the money from GFA for a little over $710,000. So congratulations to the city manager and those who worked to get that, to make that happen. My concern is that when an elected official makes those kind of decisions before the possibility of a grant approval, that person is being fiscally irresponsible. I heard our mayor spend 5, 8, 10 minutes giving his opinion on agenda items before the vote was ever called. He has chosen to interpret the Roberts rules to accommodate his own agenda. I heard Mayor Pro Tem Morgan say that this council is harmonious. But my concern is...
Ms. Tucker, let me stop you real quick. As you're aware, or if you're not aware, our rules allow for you to speak to your council, and we really, really appreciate that. We encourage it, actually. But part of the way that the rules are written is that you don't necessarily, you're speaking to the council and not necessarily individual council members.
Okay, all right. So can I get started?
Absolutely. And I give you 30 seconds back.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the council members said that the council is harmonious, but it's my concern that there is clearly a racial line vote on those items with the mayor, who already has voiced his opinion and let us know what his vote would be. I love Camilla, and I won't sit back quietly while race is used once again to divide our city. Most of us claim to be Christian, but we continue to hold hate and animosity in our hearts towards each other. God's word in Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. I can't change the past, but as a Christian, I can help make the future better. And that doesn't make me perfect, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to go along with every toy or new gadget that comes along either. You serve in a public environment. My concern is the wisdom of this council concerning the code of ethics, when the city charter does not cover everything that it needs to in the code of that the code of ethics would. A code of ethics just should be the standard of this council. I heard the mayor talk about catering trucks from Atlanta coming to Camilla. My question is, how does that benefit the businesses here in Camilla when clearly that revenue will not stay here in our town, in our city? Also heard another councilman speak about an event that was held here with no problems. But sir, that will look a whole lot different when you add alcohol to the mix. I'm concerned about spending $12,000 for a Christmas tree when most of us are having to curb our spending because of the gas prices and the high food cost. When you spend up the reserve that took years to build, you will be forced to raise prices on our utilities.
And you have about 30 seconds, Ms. Tucker.
And that will affect all people that live in Camilla, regardless of a person's color. So thank you for allowing me to express my concerns and opinion.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Tucker. All right. Alfreda Shepherd.
Good evening. My name is Attorney Alfreda Shepherd. I'm a partner at Watson Spence Law Firm in Albany, Georgia. My purpose for being here today is to make you aware that my law firm represents Mr. Steve Sykes, who is a former city manager for the city of Camilla. I'm here to officially serve each of you as members of the current city council with an in-writing notice, which I will do at the conclusion of my presentation. Let me first say thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak here. The purpose of an in-writing notice, as you all may know, is to give the government sufficient notice of certain claims in order to facilitate settlement prior to a lawsuit being filed. Again, because of the fact that at this point this case is not currently in litigation, I do not believe there is any reason to legally exempt me from speaking here this evening. I will not get into the specific allegations. I believe that is outlined in the in-writing notice, which I will give you all an intent and an opportunity to review. But the purpose of the in-writing notice, again, is to give the city an opportunity to right the wrongs that were done against Mr. Sykes. It is unfortunate that we are here this evening having to serve this in-writing notice. But in any event, as a result of what we believe were irresponsible and intentionally false statements made against Mr. Sykes by certain members of the city council, Mr. Sykes' professional and personal reputation have been irreparably damaged. Although the damage to Mr. Sykes' reputation, either professionally and personally, cannot be repaired, please accept this notice to the city of Camilla as an opportunity for the city council to remediate some of the damage that has been done to Mr. Sykes without the city having to go through protracted litigation. I appreciate your consideration of this matter, and I thank you for your time tonight. And with permission, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to personally serve each one of you.
Well, what you can do, Ms. Shepherd, or Attorney Shepherd, we truly appreciate you taking the opportunity to come down. If you like, you can, you can leave those there if you like. Mm-hmm. And if you want to, if you don't, and I was going to tell you, if you didn't want to wait to the end, because I thought you said at the beginning that you were going to do it at the end, but I guess you meant at the end of your statement. I was going to let you know that you can go ahead and leave those now if you want to, if you didn't want to stay.
Yes, no, I'm not going to stay.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I wanted to make sure that I handed these to you also. Each one has your name on the envelope. If you will, please take yours and pass it down to the next person.
Well, we're not going to do that. We won't do that. What I will tell you, though, if you don't mind, if you can wait we can get it to the clerk and for our city clerk to give you the information for our city attorney and to make
He's
sure.
already got the copy. We emailed it to Tom Coleman.
Okay, well, we're not aware of that.
Yeah.
We're not aware of that. So if and when that happens, then we'll just go from there. But you're more than welcome to leave those on the calendar if you like.
I'm going to leave them there because the statute actually requires me to either personally serve or to serve by certified mail each member of the council.
Yeah.
So each of you can consider yourself served at this point.
That is
And Mr.
completely.
Coleman has been provided a copy.
That is completely up to you, ma'am.
And
But I just wanted to make sure that you were aware. You had a question for this?
No, I was just going to let Ms. Ford know that there is one letter also to you, ma'am. There's an envelope addressed to you which serves as an open records request to the city of Camilla. So if you will, please receive your envelope. Thank each of you, and I look forward to hearing from you finally.
Appreciate you, Attorney Shepherd. Thank you so much. All right. Chad, but I see you here, but what we're going to do, we'll just wait till we get to the deep long portion of the agenda to bring you up. All right. So with that, we will turn it over to our city manager to get us started.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. First action tonight on the action item, let's talk about the ordinance, the licensed alcohol beverage caterer. As you know, this is the second read, and the ordinance simply reads, an ordinance amending the city code, city of Camilla, to provide for a definition of licensed alcohol beverage caterer, providing for the licensing and regulations, or of licensed alcohol beverage caterer, repealing all ordinances in conflict therein, and for other purposes. Basically, it means any retailer will be licensed as the ability to serve or otherwise dispense by catering business, as per our ordinance. And with that, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
All right, I appreciate that, Mr. City Manager. As the city manager mentioned, this license or this ordinance is going to be huge in terms of our future economic development. And I'm going to be looking for at least 3 council members that are prepared to leave this as an action item to be voted on for next week. I think this is going to play a pivotal part in our future growth, our future economic growth here in the city. So are there at least 3 council members that would like to see this voted on? Or actually it's going to happen anyway, but I just think just for the record, 3 council members that would like to see this on next Monday's agenda. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. City Manager.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, the resolution of 2022-0808-1, this one is about having our youth council, and it basically states that we want to get youth involved and get them exposed to the decision-making process of our government, so they can create projects and, of course, develop their leadership skills, create a pipeline of leaders, if you will.
All right, thank you, Mr. City Manager. So this resolution, as you know, after getting this done and presenting it and having it looked at by our city manager and our city attorney, I'm excited about having this item potentially being voted on next week. The primary purpose, and we had comments about this earlier, is that this resolution or this youth council is designed for students that are residents of Camilla and that go to school here in the city limits of Camilla to basically advise this council on the needs of the youth of this city. And this is one of the primary reasons why this resolution is written that way, because obviously the academics, the actual quality of life of the students and the citizens, quite frankly, our young citizens here in the city of Camilla, should be voted on and encouraged by the students and the citizens that it will actually impact. And this is why it is written that way. And I believe long term, this is going to create a pipeline of young, enthusiastic legislators here in the city. We don't have anything like that now. And I think that it's time that we start to have the youth in our community be involved in the legislative process. So are there any questions related to that?
Mayor, I have a question on section 2. regarding reside and attend school to include private and charter schools in the city of Camilla. I guess when I read it the first time, I was interpreting that not only does it include the Mitchell County High School students, it includes Westwood students, and it includes Baconton charter students, as long as the students reside in the city of Camilla. But now, are you saying that that is not the case? I had thought the way I was interpreting it was that as long as the student resided here, whether they attended Mitchell County High School, Baconton Charter, or Westwood, which would be the three schools that would have residents in the city of Camilla. Is that our intent, that we want to do, to cover all three schools, that the student actually resides in the city of Camilla? Because I was interpreting it that was our intent, and yes, I fully support the youth council as well.
Sure, so to remove the ambiguity, let me just read the sentence. Youth council members should be high school age students that currently reside and attend school in the city of Camilla. So if the school is located in the city of Camilla, and they live in the city of Camilla, they're eligible for this program.
So therefore, you are excluding Baconton Charter School, because that's not in the city of Camilla.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, ma'am. No one here has said anything about Bacon.
Oh, I was reading in section 2, the third sentence, it said private and charter schools.
Absolutely. In wishing and hoping for the future growth of our city, there could come a time where there is a charter school that opens up in the city of Camilla. So,
All right, I just want to make sure we're clear. So it excludes Baconton Charter School.
if Baconton is not in the city of Camilla, it would exclude Baconton High School or any school in Bacon. Yes, ma'am. All right. Any other questions? All right. Are there at least 3 council members that would like to see this voted on next Monday night? All right. Thank you, Council. City Manager.
Mr. Mayor, the MEAG power tenure option, you allow me to do all the council just can't.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. And just for the public, right now there's discussions concerning the construction of the 2 nuclear plants that are out at VOGTLE. That's VOGTLE 3 and 4. As you know, the city of Camilla is part of that program, if you will, or part of that project. And we now have an option to tender a portion of our percentage, if you will, into this project, and in return for other things that are currently being litigated with MEAG, Georgia Power, and others. So at this time, what I'm asking, or what I would recommend for the council to do, is to leave this on the agenda to be voted on next Monday. But just so that you know, and just so for the public know, it would be my recommendation that we do tender this particular option. So at this time, are there any questions regarding this before we move forward?
I just want to make one comment regarding that. When we were at the meeting, I did take the opportunity to query some other cities as to what their tender option was going to be. And as the MEAG staff has explained to us before, that this is a vote that has to be unanimous by all cities. And so it really is a relatively moot point, because there are cities that have already said no. But I did talk with representatives from the city of Newnan, Monroe, Calhoun, Cartersville, Crisp County Power, and LaGrange, and all of those cities who are, many of those have board members on the MEAG board. Their representatives have voted no. So it's relatively a moot point, but we agree we have to vote on it. But just making that comment and realizing that we do have a sizable amount of capacity that we're able to sell right now.
Councilman Pollard.
I don't know the agenda, but I think we should keep what extra power that we're going to be requiring over the next period of time, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. The money that we've been getting is
your comments regarding that, Councilman. I'll only add that this asset is projected to be about 40 years, 3 and 4. But there is also an expectation that these plants will be online for at least 60 to 80 years. So in terms of the details on the construction costs of 3 and 4, which I believe should have came online in I want to say 2017, and 3 looking to come online here next March, that it seems practical to me, and hence the reason why I will be recommending that we do tender, that those responsibilities should be passed